Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm sharing my screen. Once you're able to see that, say yes in chat box, please. Is your Word document visible? Hello? Am I audible? Okay, yeah, thanks. Okay, fine. So, yesterday, we have covered up to this permissible values of test results till 6.2. We'll continue from 6.3. So in 6.3, it is about reporting of the gas test results. It is not only doing the gas test, it is required to record those results as well. Why we need to record? Because one person or a safety department guy, he will come and do the gas testing. He'll simply go, after doing testing, he say, yes, everything is fine. You can enter the confined space and you can perform the activity. But over a period of time, whether it is progressing because of due to activity we are doing inside a confined space, or maybe external environment somewhere else, there is a leakage happened. Some of the gases which is having a vapor density higher than air, it will have tendency to settle in the lower grounds, which means any pockets, pits, those kind of uh, conditions. So we have to check frequently and it has to be noted. The result should be reported by the plant personnel authorized by the HOD or area in charge. As per the work conditions and the type of the work being carried out, it is necessary to do a gas test at regular intervals. It depends on. Maybe for simple general inspections, we do once in a time, or maybe some welding is activity is happening. We will put an interval of every half an hour or every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes. It is up to us. The issuer decides the frequency of testing and also type of gases to be tested. So, who is the issuer here? The area owner or plant in charge. He will decide the frequency, how many times it has to be done, and also what are the gases to be monitored. And also, the gas test should be done at every renewal of validation and work permit. So, it is about in case your work is extending or if you are continuing for tomorrow. So, before again entering into the confined space, the gas test has to be conducted. Okay, that is about the gas test results. Now we'll see approvals. So approvals in the sense here we talk about issuer, we talk about executor and their roles and responsibilities. When I say approvals, upon complaints of the points in the checklist. So as we seen yesterday, we have seen the checklist or any other special precaution procedures like gas testing, etc. The permit will be finally approved by the issuer and the job executor. So basically, the issuer and the executor will be finally approved. Plant HOD shall authorize hard work and vessel entry permits and excavation permits. So plant HOD. So basically, with my experience, these plant head will do signatures or authorizations on, especially in the nights. I mean, as practically I have seen, but this procedure is giving such a instruction that HOD should authorize hot works, vessel entry, and excavation persons, because a plant HOD, it is not HOD, plant HOD, which means unit head. He is the ultimate person who can takes decisions with respect to safety. So he should authorize those permits. And job executor shall mention the name of the contractor if the contractor is performing the job. When I say executor, the executor also from our organization. For example, maintenance. He brought a instrument technician or any third party person, third party contractor for doing some motor alignment or any additional work or any mechanical work. So our maintenance head will be the executor and contractor who is performing an activity. Okay, that is how it happens. Only plant head would require. It is not mandated that you should follow this. Based on your conditions, based on your company policies, it can be modified. You can give authorization for even unit head or safety head, like that. You can modify this. Then issuer. So who is meant by issuer? In operating plant areas, a shift in charge shall issue the work permit for the area under his jurisdiction. So under his jurisdiction, in the sense, for example, if you take in a production block, so production block in charge will be the issuer for that specific block. For the jobs on pipelines, product utility suppliers shall initiate issue. The permit in the work permit is to be carried out up to the battery limit of receiving plant. Inside the battery limit, the receiving plant shall be permit after confirming due safety precautions at the supplier end, and the issuer is the employee of the company. No person can issue work permit to himself. So basically, issuer is always from the company employee, and he should not permit for himself. Okay, that is the rule. That is why, that is how we have to define a permit, a procedure. All HODs, all HODs can authorize personnel working under them to issue the permit for the area under his jurisdiction. A list of employees who are authorized to issue permit shall be maintained in all plants and areas. So we have to create a list. So who can be issue a permit? List of authorized people to sign on permit. So everybody are not allowed, or everybody is not authorized to sign in a permit. So we have to define a specific list who can issue a permit in the plant area. Now we'll see the issuer responsibilities. What is the responsibility of issuer who is signing the permit? The issuer is responsible for controls at the entire work permit process. One second, please. So controls in the sense, all the controls with respect to safety controls, etc. He is responsible. And also the issuer shall ensure the necessary equipment preparations has been completed and adequate safety measures have been taken. Preparation, equipment preparation in the sense, it is everything, even lotto, cleaning of the this thing, unpressurization, applying blinds or permanent disconnections, etc., has to be ensured. Then he shall mention any special safety precautions and PPs to be issued by the way, and also the independent risk assessment for difficult jobs, and also jobs which are being done for the first time and not so frequent. So here they are talking about independent risk assessment. So when I say risk assessment, it is again up to the organizations. Some of the companies, they follow the HIRA format. Some of the companies, they prepare a method statements. Some of the companies, they may follow job safety analysis. Independent risk assessment in the sense, all the difficulty job. So again, you will get a question, sir, what is mean by difficult job? Again, it is up to the organization, because each organization is different, each workplace is different, each work scenario is different. So it is up to the organization how you define difficulty of the job. So once you define the difficulty of the job, and you are doing first time that activity, and also not so frequent, I do once in a year or once in a quarter or once in 3 years or once in 5 years, for those kind of activities we have to perform a independent risk assessment. Okay, I'll mark here so that necessary complete, so that it will be easy for you. Okay, then a separate work permit shall be issued for equipment blinding, disconnection, erection of scaffolding, temporary working platform, etc., before a permit is issued for the execution. Again, a separate work permit. Hopefully it is a cold work permit we have to issue before execution of the job. And the issuer of the work permit should ensure that relevant check sheets as specified in the work permit with respect to the job has been identified and completed. Relevant checks. So yesterday we have seen the checkpoints, the checklist with respect to the potential hazards and also the safety precautions. It has to be completed. Then the incoming shift engineer or shift in charge shall review the ongoing work permits, and in conditions are not conducive or violated, he can stop the ongoing activity. So incoming shift engineer or shift in charge. So when I say incoming, when the shift change happens, for example, in the general shift, a permit is issued. So a shift person has initiated the work permit. Then by the time general shift arrives, the general shift they have taken the permit. So meanwhile, what happened? A shift change happened. So first shift person he's going out from his duty. So when the handover is happening, a second shift person has to ensure the conditions are properly maintained. If not, he can cancel the permit or he can stop the activity. The issuer is responsible for getting the approval of the plant or plant area in charge before permit is given to the acceptor. So again, the issuer has to make sure that he should get approvals from the plant area and also in charge before handing over that permit to the acceptor. Previously, what is happening? A contractor will go to the safety department, he will get the empty permit copies, he will fill the permits, then go to the respective area, get it approval, then he will come to the safety department, get it signed, then he will execute the job. Here, not like that. The area owner, the executor of the job activity, has to take all these responsibilities. The issuer should sign on the work permits that have been closed and also handed over to him. And also, once you have completed, you have to closing of the permit also you have to sign. Okay. Again, radiography. This is an annexure. We can see it later. Then executor. What is the responsibility of executor? HOD is from the maintenance, inspection, construction, or any other engineering services department can authorize personnel working under them to receive the permit. And also, a list of employees who are authorized to receive the permit shall be maintained in all the plant areas. Again, the executor is an employee of the company. So here also, employees of the company will be act as an executor. Even the HODs can authorize their engineers and also senior engineers or managers, assistant managers to authorize to act as a executors. Okay. So again here, prior to issue of the work permit, the issuer and executor shall jointly inspect the job location and identify the requirements of the job preparation. So here, a joint inspection is important. And also special PP is required for the safe execution of the job. Okay, one is joint inspection. During the joint inspection, if they come up with any specific concerns, so they have to fulfill. And the responsibility for the safe execution of the job lies with the acceptor of the permit. So this is also very important. Acceptor. Who is acceptor here? Any guess? Who is meant by acceptor?
Maintenance guy.
Mhm. Any other answer?
The person who is executing the job, sir, at location.
Now, when we say acceptor, here the contractor will come. If your own employee, then it is fine. Your answer is correct.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. If the contractor is involved, the contractor will be the acceptor. If your own company team is doing maintenance or projects team or any instrumentation team is doing it, then your company employee who is performing the activity, they will be act as an acceptor. Okay. Good. Okay. Responsibility is be completely held by the acceptor of the permit. So here it is taking the responsibility. What is mean by accountability? This we have discussed on management one.
Yes, sir. Accountability is
Responsible
one
and
who is
accountable.
completely responsible for the job to be held, like area in charge.
Who is answerable? Yes, Srinivas, you
Yes.
are correct. Who is answerable if something went wrong? For example, the area in charge, he is going to be accountable if something went wrong due to that work which has happened in his jurisdiction. So acceptor is responsible. Yes, he will say, sir, मैं तो सब कुछ कर दिया है, ये मेरा गलती नहीं है. No, there may be a small miscommunication, there may be a small error in the execution of the activity, or they have missed out any isolations, or they have missed out any uh, procedure, or they have taken any shortcut due to resulting of an accident. So again, the accountable person is the area in charge. Okay. After executor signs the permit, he will hand over the permit to the technical or contractor, a supervisor working under him, and a maintenance technician or a contractor supervisor shall sign in the permit and meet area operator before starting of the work. So it is simple that once the executor signs, so either your company technician or contractor. So when I say contractor, he is a third party. When we say technician, he is our own employee. What has to happen? They have to meet the area operator. What is mean by area operator? So who is the operator? When I say equipment, we'll go to the equipment operator. When I say specific area, we'll go to the area owner. The area operator, after satisfying himself that the conditions mentioned in the permit are compiled with the signs and also work permit, and returns the permit to the maintenance and technician team or contractor and supervisor for starting of the job. Once the area operator satisfies it, then he will say yes, you can start an activity. The executor should display his copy of the permit at the work site. This we have seen yesterday. So we should have the permit work permit box or any work permit display boards, so that they have to display the permit in the work area. So again, the toolbox talk, safety talk has to be conducted by the acceptor to the contract workers prior to the start of the job. Again, it is also important. Conducting of toolbox talk. So upon the activity they are performing. So what will they talk in the toolbox talk? If safety talk should be emphasize a proper procedure for carrying out the job and identify any hazards involved and also the precautions to be taken, and when necessary a prior training session can be arranged as appropriate. So basically, how you are going to execute, we talk about the procedure, the way you are going to complete, and the second one, identification of hazards, and also the kind of precautions supposed to be taken. If you found any gaps, if the people are unaware, they are new, maybe sometimes with the contractors it will happen, simply for pushing the project they will bring whoever is available outside of the gate. So we have to check all those situations as well. If it is training is required, you have to conduct training program as well. Then it is responsibility of executor to ensure that the contractor is made aware of all the following during the execution of the job. Executor, our employee, so he has to make sure the contractor is well aware. One, the conditions identified in the work permit are compiled all the times during the execution of the work. So conditions means whatever the safety conditions are or safety improvements which we have done or which is need to be maintained, those conditions all be compiled. In the sense, always they have to meet that requirement. So only just for the 10 minutes, simply I'll say, you have to use the fire blanket around the activity. You have to fold the fire blanket and you have to perform the hot work. Okay, executor has informed the contractor. He just went for some other work because he can't monitor whole the day. So immediately the worker is telling that, sir, ये suffocation आ रहा है, हवा नहीं आ रहा है करके, they just remove the blanket, fire blanket, and they're doing. No, whatever the conditions they have accepted while signing the permit, it has to be followed throughout the permit activity or throughout the time till completion of the activity. And the contract worker or supervisor should inform executor and the area operator if the job conditions deviate from the safe execution of the job. Okay, in case of any deviation, sir, aisa nahi ho raha hai, because sometimes whatever we are giving the precautions, it may not possible while performing practically. In case of such deviations, they can inform to the executor. It is responsibility of the contract supervisor to provide requisite PPs to the worker. Again, it will differ. So it is sometimes conditions agreed between the contractor and the organization, because sometimes the contractor will give only the manpower and whole the PPE, the supply, it will be lies with the organization. Then after the work is completed, the executor should ensure that the housekeeping of the area is restored to a normal before signing of the permit completed. So this is also one thing. Once you completed the activity, the executor, who brought the contractor in or who is taking the following that activity, so he has to ensure that the proper housekeeping is done and the system is kept it back to a normal. Okay, before signing on the permit. In the case of confined space or vessel entry, the executor should ensure that all the men and other material have been removed from the work area before the equipment is boxed up. What does it mean, boxed up? Any guess?
The hatches or manholes closed.
Yes, very good, Santosh. Basically, before checking, sometimes what will happen, they may forgot some cotton waste, sometimes they may forgot to some tools or some spanners, any extra waste material, etc. It is always recommended that before signing off any permit, after completion of activity, they have to thoroughly check before closing of manuals of the vessel or any equipment. In the case of job is to be carried out through the contractor under the supervision of the plant operations personnel and no maintenance of personnel are involved, the shift in charge can issue a permit to the shift engineer or area operator. Okay, in case of maintenance people are not involved, a shift in charge can authorize the permit. Okay, so here, okay, the authorization to accept the permit by the shift engineer or the area operator will be done by the plant HOD or the area in charge. Okay. Again, arrangement of tools and tackles, ladders, scaffolding equipment for the job will be responsibility of agency undertaking the job. Again, either contractor or if your own company employees, it is their duty to make sure that everything they brought. It shall ensure the certification of the hand tools and also portable electric tools, ladders, and scaffolds before taking into the use. So certification in the sense, so if you have any internal inspection of the ladders, and if you have using non-sparking tools, and also if you are using any ladder, whether it is having inspection or not, if you are using any safety belts, whether it is having third party inspection or not. All these things has to be checked. Okay. Now we'll go to a plant or area in charge. So here the plant or area in charge, what is do? Hard work, confined space permit, and also excavation permit authorization of plant area in charge is required. And employees working above the level of shift in charge in plant or non-plant area, the authorized by the plant HOD will sign the plant area in charge, and HOD himself can sign as plant or area in charge for the authorizing the permits. Okay, for doing hard works, confined space, and excavation, plant area in charge is compulsory, or else HOD also can sign behalf of this plant area in charges. Then area operator. So when the work permit is operated to the area operator by the acceptor, the area operator satisfied himself that the work conditions identified in the work permit have been compiled with, and he then sign on the work permit and hand over permit back to the maintenance or technician or contract supervisor for the starting of the activity. As I mentioned, equipment owner. So if you're performing an activity or on any specific equipment, so the equipment owner will be act as a area operator. When the work is complete, a permit is to be closed and the area operator inspect the work area for the housekeeping and also cleanliness, and also signs in the work permit and hand over permit to the acceptor. He will also check for the closure conditions of the permit, whether properly they have cleaned it or not. And also the incoming shift operator also reviews the
Hello.
permit. Again,
Just a
it
minute.
is as usual. So
Sir,
he
just
has
a
to,
minute.
sorry.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, Srinivas.
Yes, sir. In our case, we are using online PTW system. We are
Mm-hmm.
using Institute portal. So
Okay.
physical hard copies we won't print. So in that case,
Okay.
how we can ensure that whether housekeeping has been ensured and signed by the operator?
Then he has to inspect and no. How you will accept the permit? I mean, in online, you will just issue, or you just go to the site visit. Then you will
We,
come into your system and you will issue the permit.
after ensuring complete isolations, everything, we will issue the permit online. And
Okay.
acceptor also, once it is approved by the area in charge, permit is valid from that time.
Okay. Okay.
And it is valid till 1900 hours in the
Okay.
daytime. So
Okay.
automatically it gets expired. If one, if the acceptor didn't close in the system, automatically the permit gets expired by 1900 hours in the day.
Okay.
Okay. If they close, then it will come to the operations in charge for
Mm.
final closure.
Okay.
This happens everything in the portal itself.
Okay.
So there is no physical copy. Then how can we ensure that it has to go through physically? Like operator has to check whether the job has been completed, housekeeping has been done, and he has to inform verbally to the operations in charge.
Or else in the permit itself, you can put in a, I mean, check in saying that
Yeah,
before
yeah. There is a check-in.
closing
There
of
is
the
a
permit.
check-in. Yes. It has
Ah,
been ensured that housekeeping has been done.
then
Then
if
only we
he's
can proceed.
he's sticking that specific check-in, then he's ensuring that okay, he has inspected, and we are
Hmm.
believing, because until
Hmm.
unless he is not verifying that, he can't directly simply just check in and yes, okay, the housekeeping is completed, I am closing the permit. If
Right.
it is not done, then he is going to be caught for that non-compliance.
Yes, yes.
Correct, right?
So finally, operations is responsible for housekeeping,
Yes,
ensuring.
yes. Finally, operation is because who is there or who is the executor of the permit, they are going to be responsible for that.
Yes.
Because HOD sits in somewhere, he can't come and do all those kind of checks, right? That's why there are so many levels here. We are taking
Yeah.
for the even area operator also, we are involving here
Huh.
each level, so that it will
Yes.
have a double check.
Okay.
so that there will not be
But
any
if they are
misconception.
in a contract, how can we ensure such type of things? Like, acceptor is a supervisory employee. He will be going to the operator and he will be confirming that whether everything were satisfied or not. Is it so?
So come again, Srinivas, I
Like,
didn't got you.
acceptor in our case is a supervisory employee from our company, and
Okay,
the
own
executive,
company supervisor. Okay.
yes, and operator is contract person.
No, operator will not be a contract person, right?
No,
Acceptor
no.
will be, no, here there are two conditions, Srinivas. When I say acceptor, the acceptor may be a contract employee or your own employee. When I say area operator or executor, they are
He
your
will be
own
coming.
employees.
Okay, engineer in charge, ऐसा बोल रहे हो.
Engineering in charge, yes, they are your
Okay.
own employees. When I say
Hmm.
only acceptor case, there are two conditions: either
Hmm.
contractor or
Hmm.
your own team, engineering team or maintenance team, project team, instrumentation team, etc., etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, sir, for hard job, confined space and excavation, area in charge related एक point था ना, वो again repeat कर सकते हो?
हाँ, जरूर. I'll just go back.
Just ऊपर थोड़ा ऊपर या नीचे, हाँ ये वाला सर,
This one.
7.4.
Yeah. So here what is happening? The hard work or confined space permit and excavation permit authorization of plant area in charge is required. Employees
Required.
working above the level in the shift in charge. Huh?
Normally for every permit, area in charge is has to approve then.
There
Actually,
they can
even
authorize. No, there they can authorize the below level people also can sign
okay,
those cases. For
okay.
these critical permits,
Hmm.
area in charge is must and should.
Okay, but in his absence, he can authorize again operations in charge, na?
Now, in these cases, there is an HOD. If the employee is
Well,
working
above
above his
him,
level,
above his level.
above his level, they can take over that role and they can sign on the permits.
But
Area in
in
charge
our
and above
case,
level.
sir, authorization, if in case of area in charge is not there,
Mhm.
it has been given to the operations lead.
The operations lead in the sense, I mean, he's over and above the area in charge, or what
No,
is
no,
his
no,
definition?
not over and above. He is below area in charge.
Uh, then,
Is
as
it
per the
mandatory that, sir, in
no,
that case, regional in charge is available in our pipeline. Like if area in charge is not there,
hmm.
above him, regional in charge.
Yeah, then he can
Responsible,
authorize.
responsible for 5 stations, sir. But in that case, approving the permits at such a high level for individual stations is not possible because we are monitoring directly here at stations.
Okay.
Area in charge will be present at station, sir, but regional in charge, he will be at a head office.
Okay. So basically, Srinivas, it is about the criticality of the activity.
Hmm.
Again, it is in a standard procedure. So you can define your, I mean, own hierarchy. For example, when I say area in charge, he is the ultimate person because of this critical activity. In your case, so who
Right.
can be authorized for such kind of critical works? So you
Okay.
can define because it is
Can this
not in
be
a
taken as a can this be taken as a deviation by external auditor if he checks the permit?
now if you have a procedure in place as per the procedure if you are following, it will not be a deviation.
Okay.
If you are not having any procedure, simply you are deviating, then they can caught you.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it is that's why I've given, we have to see this standard as an ISO standard.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned, ISO standard can be implemented for a kirana store,
Hmm.
and the same ISO standard can be applicable for your pipeline infra also.
Okay.
The standard
Okay.
is same. So
Right,
based on
sir.
that, how you are making your system is
Procedures.
implementation is the question. Yeah.
Hmm. Right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you. So we have 4 seconds. We can continue.